Good morning. So, what to do if you're still beating yourself up, you're very much an all or nothing person, and you're still beating yourself up for something that happened over the weekend or last week, last month, and you haven't really got back on track yet. So, good morning. If you're coming in, give me a hello. If you're on replay, let me know. So, this morning I had a long walk planned really for my own training, which obviously I'm keeping people accountable. Morning, Sandra. And then on myself, sometimes I'm like, oh, a lot on today. My daughter's got to be in school earlier than normal. I can't get my walk I planned in. Is there any point? And I thought, wow, that's just gone through my head. What would I say? What would I say to someone else? And what I want to talk about today is, if we're in this all or nothing mindset, which I was in then, if I'm honest, we've got to consider that you've got to also apply that all or nothing mindset to something else, surely. So if we can beat ourselves up and say, well, if it's not worth it, then we've got to be able to forgive ourselves in a perfectionist state as well. So if we're trying to be perfect with what we do, surely we've got to be perfect with our forgiveness as well. The perfect forgiveness, if you like, is, okay, I haven't done what's planned, what can I do instead? So instead, I'm just going to walk as long as I can, one way. As soon as that time hits, I'm just going to walk back. And yes, it's not perfect, yes, it's not great, I'm going. Because it's so much harder to go from B to C than it is to go from A to B than it is from B to C. Once you get going, you keep that momentum going, it's much easier, and you build that momentum, and tomorrow's choice becomes so much easier. Now, I wanted to talk a bit about bank holiday weekend. Had a few discussions yesterday with some of the ladies as well, and there was a lot of like, I succumbed to, a bit of snacking. This was at a social event, and I was like, yeah, me too. Had like hey, I went down a different Lottie. I had like 3 rounds of hog roast in there, and I was like, yeah, these are events that happen. Now, I chose to have that. 1, I was hungry. 2, I hadn't actually eaten that much that day. Kids' parties and whatnot. And my point in this is, we can reframe this. We can reframe these moments of, I've come for 8, I've got an urge. And you've got to think, if we're trying to change habits that have been with us for years, we need opportunities to change the habits. The more opportunities we have, the more likely we are to change that habit. And it's not always going to be easy. Like, there's lots of things in life where it's hard today, easier tomorrow. And I think that's sometimes a good motto. It can be taken to the extreme sometimes, of course. But if we now think of that differently, let's say someone gets an urge in an evening to eat. Now, of course, you're going to get an urge in the evening to eat if your body is very much used to eating in the evening after dinner, sit down, normally have a cup of tea, a few biscuits. My other half brings the wine in. Hey, Suzanne. Then there's some peanuts out, biscuits, whatever it is. Of course we're going to have an urge. Now, every urge you have is an opportunity to make a slightly different decision. Dogs don't like me talking to myself into the camera, by the way. I've noticed that. It's like, well, dogs just like, what are you doing? So, and with that, apart from my dog, she's used to it. And with that as an opportunity to actually make a better decision. So if we reframe these urges aren't failure. These urges are telling us something, that this is what we would normally do. They're little challenges, obstacles. We've got to embrace them and actually go, okay, how can I make a better choice here? Can I make a better choice? Can I delay the choice a little? And celebrate those small wins. What if you just delay that urge 5 minutes, for example? What if you get up 5 minutes earlier than you normally would? And I spoke to someone before and they were like, this weekend wasn't great. Had a curry takeaway. We all got curry in, but I only got this, and this. And I was like, okay, what would you normally have done? I'd have got this, and this, and this. And I was like, that's a good win. I'm not telling you to stop having curry or anything like that, takeaway. Obviously, there's got to be a compromise. But she's making small differences. She's like, yeah, I actually felt more satisfied, I felt better the next day. Now she's selling all these benefits to herself. There are benefits of the alternative. It's not all about, I'm missing out on this, I'm missing out on that. If we focus on that, we're going to not be motivated to do it. We might not stick to it because the benefit's gone. However, you flip it, what are the benefits of perhaps not doing it? I'll wake up better the next day. I've got more energy. My digestion's better. I'm not bloated as much. My joints feel better. Is that a thing? Potentially. Let's have a look at your nutrition. And that's something that is super powerful, in that when you go through the process in our kickstart and our summer shape up, we want least intervention possible, right? I want something that you can roll out into your day-to-day life that doesn't like feel like it's a massive chore. So instead, what we prefer to do is look at that. So least intervention. Then if needs be, let's really go into it in a bit more detail. It depends on where you're at right now. But my point here is every urge, every seemingly hard moment is probably a good sign that you're actually making a change, because you wouldn't have the urge if you were perhaps doing something different. Perhaps if you were just doing what you normally would do. You're more aware of the urge as well. Maybe normally you're not even aware of you have an urge. You just go and do it. Now you're like, I've got an urge to eat. Am I hungry? Am I not? We're assessing things. And these are the things, the deep-rooted things that, to be honest, actually are the key things in transformation. We can talk about keto fasting, all these stuff. But the research is super clear that support, accountability, self-awareness, that mindfulness, all in the background is underpinning a lot of this. Not for everyone. That's just science. But a lot of this. That's why an individual approach works. Anyway, I hope that helps. It's enough of my ramble. I think I've slowed down a little bit on this walk now, so I need to speed back up, otherwise I'm not going to be back in time. My kids drop off. Anyway, and a busy day, outside sessions, inside, back inside, one-to-ones. A few people starting on our summer shape up today, Marlborough, Devizes. If you want more information on that, drop a summer below. Here's summer, despite the skies. But if we didn't have these days, you wouldn't be so excited for the sunny days, right? So, I will see you later. Have an awesome